Shut up and sit down.
Greetings, fellow travelers. Obelix here, and today I want to take just a second to do our unboxing of the Victorinox I.N.O.X diver. What you just saw was me actually unboxing it. I kind of forgot to record the audio, so yeah, I'm a moron sometimes, sorry. But I'll catch you up. This is the Victorinox I.N.O.X diver. Now, before we get too far gone on this, it is Sunday as I'm recording this. The 16th of June, and I do want to say very happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. You guys really make a difference, and you know, I just want to set my respects for you guys. I'm a dad as well, and it's an important day. So this was kind of my Father's Day gift to myself as well. I just got a promotion at work that I've been working on for a long time, and so that went with that as well. So here we go. Victorinox I.N.O.X diver. You saw in the opening there, it did come in a kind of one of those modern day double boxes, you know, with warranty card and all that normal garbage you see in 100 other unboxing videos. This guy does have a 3-year warranty on him, which is a bit special, so you know, quite a bit good on the warranty. And you did see me pull out this extra little bit of plastic. We'll talk about this guy here in a minute. First, I want to take kind of a walk around the piece and let you guys see it. Tell you what, this is a chunky monkey. It is heavy, but man, these links are milled to perfection. I mean, there's no hitches in the giddy up. They don't catch on anything. You know, as I was unwrapping that insane amount of plastic, you know, I was just admiring how well these links are actually made. I like how they're the bigger links up here, and then it goes into almost a half-size link down here, so that you can really get a good size adjustment just out of the links without even needing these quick adjusts. Really, really nice. So it is a fold-over milled clasp, as you can see there. And actually, all of this is plastic. Well, it was plastic as well. I'm sure there's plastic on here I've missed. You know, with a branded, so we got a branded fold-over keeper. Then it also has a dive extension. So if we close this guy back up and we flip it back around, you'll see back here in the back, we can pull this and we get a dive extension on the bracelet. Now obviously this isn't for size adjustment, this is for putting over your wetsuit, you know, to give you that extra little bit of length you need to get it over the wetsuit. So pretty darn cool. And we can just buckle that back down and keep on cruising. So bezel, we got a loom pip up here at the 12 and a very nice 120 click. One of the best ones I've ever seen, or felt I should say. No gritty, no, you know, virtually no playback at all. Very, you know, minimal play anywhere in this. Just really nice, and those ratchets just feel tight and crisp, like they're gonna last forever. And that's kind of one of the claim to fames of this watch, the I.N.O.X line. They make both a diver and a non-diver. But the I.N.O.X series in general it's built to be a tank, an absolute tank. I mean, look how thick and rugged and meaty this thing looks. Victorinox subjected these things to, I believe it's 130 different tests to verify that they could stand up to virtually anything. And they posted several of the tests on YouTube where you can go look. If I can remember, I'll put a link in the down yonder so y'all can check them out if you want to. But they did a 10-meter drop resistance test. Dropped it from 10 meters. Is it still working? Did it destroy itself? No, it didn't. They attached it to the sled of a like the bottom sled, or the bottom, I don't know, what do you call it? Rail, slider, whatever. It's on a bobsled, the tracks that it runs down. They attached it to that and ran it, let the Olympic bobsled team run it down their course. So it's sitting there vibrating like this the whole way. And it survived. They did a torsion traction resistance test where they clipped it to a helicopter like this. It basically made it a link in a chain and lifted people off the ground with it. They ran it over with a 25-ton piece of construction equipment twice. 2 different pieces of construction equipment. One with wheels, those huge caterpillars with the big solid rubber wheels. And then one that was a tracked vehicle, had track, like tank tracks, and they ran over it once with one and once with the other, just to make sure it was still fine, and it was. They encased it in a block of ice, and then to thaw it out, they blasted it with fire. And of course, fire and ice don't mix well, tend to make metal very brittle. It was fine, still ticking away like nobody's business. They're built to be absolute rugged tanks of watches that will last you forever, no matter what you're out there doing. And I just feeling this thing, you can feel the quality. You can feel like, oh my God, I could beat people with this thing and it would survive. Mugger, give me your watch. I'll give it to you, boy. I'll throw it upside your head and knock you out. It's definitely chunky. It's definitely weighty, but it's meant to be. It is 200 meters water resistant, so 20 ATM, or 660 feet, so a full dive watch. It is anti-magnetic. And I got to tell you, the crown on this thing is one of the smoothest, butteriest, smooth unscrews I've ever felt. Just unbelievable how nice that is. I mean, every other manufacturer can take a lesson from how clean and nice that is. There's no grit, there's no grime, there's no grease. It just feels smooth and tight. Very, very nice. Just an amazingly well put together piece from what I'm seeing so far. Obviously, we're going to get a lot of wrist time with this guy. I'm loving this color. This yellow and silver, I think, go brilliantly together with these little red accents. Got the red second hand. You get the Victorinox logo up here that's going to be loomed. And I think it's a gorgeous piece, and I can't wait to get it on wrist. I imagine I'll probably be wearing this all next week. Generally, I change my watches every day. Though I will say, this piece I'm wearing today, I've actually been wearing since, I think, Friday. So, yeah, this one's gotten quite a bit of wrist time lately. This is a Boulder Voyager Corsair. It's a Mecha Quartz piece, and I'm really loving it. It's kind of a quirky little design, little barrel design there, but I'm just really loving it. That blue is so striking, with those orange accents, and it's just really, really nice. But let's see what this Victorinox looks like on the wrist. Obviously, it hasn't been sized yet, so it will be loose, but I just want to get it on and see what the general sizing is going to be. It is a bigger piece. Now remember, I have 7-inch wrists, so we can kind of pull this down and just get a general look. Now, on a 7-inch wrist, it is big, but it's not gargantuan. I think that's going to work out really, really well. It's definitely top heavy, so I'm going to want to make sure that I size this well so that it's nice and snug on my wrist so it doesn't flop around. If you make a top heavy watch too loose, you get a lot of movement on this guy like this, and it tends, for me anyway, it tends to bug me. So I want to cinch these down, which is super nice that they gave us these, basically what are half links in order to get it sized exactly where you want it. Because I do tend to be a half size on most things. So I end up having to size it and then adjust with the micros. So screw-in case back, typical Victorinox quality, Swiss made of quartz. Swiss made of quartz? My brain hurts. Swiss made quartz movement. How about that? That better? Just nuts. So you know, you get it ticks all the boxes except for those who are auto snobs who won't wear anything that's not an auto. So if you're an auto snob, they actually do make an automatic variant of this. I don't think they make it in this beautiful yellow. I believe they make it in the more drab colors, so you can get an auto and still be rocking the I.N.O.X life if you so choose, if you like the styling of them. I believe the automatic is a little bit thicker, if I'm not mistaken. They may not make it in the diver. They may just make it in the one that's not a diver, which basically has the same bezel style, just without all the numbers and stuff on it. So I did mention I would talk about this little package here. So what this guy is like a little watch condom, basically. It just protects your watch when you're out diving. And of course this thing was covered in plastic as well. And so it's just a little piece of plastic, rubber, silicone, I don't know, whatever. It's clear. And then it's got this kind of magnifier piece of plastic right here in the center. You can see that definitely has some magnification on it. As I pull out from the watch, you can, it's blowing all that stuff up. No, it's blurry, but you can tell it's doing it. So what this does, you basically slip it over here like so. This is, I say, this is not how you would wear it traditionally, right? This is when you're diving. So you set your dive time, on your dial, so that it registers how long you've been under. That way, it can no longer be turned. You can't bump it into anything and turn it whatsoever. You get a magnifier on the time itself, and your watch is protected when you're beating and banging against corals and rocks and other things like that. Now, this watch comes in two different strap flavors. So I've got these. I went with a stainless steel. I really liked the way it looked, but it also comes in a rubber strap as well. As we've recently found out, I'm allergic to natural rubber, so I avoided the natural rubber like the plague. Went with the stainless steel. But the natural rubber for this guy has a yellow strap that looks really cool with it. I wish I could wear. I probably would have gone with it. Let's get this silly thing off of here. But if you went with that rubber strap instead of the stainless steel, then you wouldn't even have to worry about your bracelet getting scratched up as you're diving. Now, do I think most people are going to wear this diving? No. Most people are like me. I'm not a diver. I just like dive watches, and I'm going to wear it for hanging around the house, and I'm going to use it at the time when my pizza's done. But doesn't mean it's not functional to me. I can definitely still use this as a timer, either count down or count up, which is awesome. Got a nice date complication down here at the 4:30. There we go. Get you guys zoomed in a little bit more so y'all can take a little closer look at this guy. If I can hold him steady enough. Just a beautiful dial, I think. Goes so well. It's amazing to me how that color yellow, I wouldn't even call it highlighter yellow. It's like a shade duller than highlighter yellow. But how well it goes with that stainless steel. I mean, that just looks so good. The brushwork on this thing is incredible. You've got a little bit of polish here at the time indexes, but you have pretty much brushed everywhere else. There's a little bit of polish showing up on the bracelet. Right here at the corners, they've milled and they've polished. It's such a quality bracelet. I mean, Victorinox just nailed it on this guy. I like how it's flared out right here on the sides of the crown guards. And man, these are seriously pronounced crown guards. Look at that. That crown is just sunk down in there. You're not going to be knocking that thing off. Of course, branded crown. Some nice solid end links. I mean, it just ticks so many boxes of greatness for watches, right? This is the only one it really avoids that, some of the more snobby watch collectors will say is, I only wear automatics. But again, you can get this in an automatic. I just prefer the quartz. The automatic obviously is a little more expensive. It doesn't come in the color I want, that I wanted. And, let's face it, if I'm going to be diving, I probably want a quartz, because they don't fail. They just run and run and run. And they're highly accurate. It's hard to go wrong with them. I have a ton of automatics. I love automatics. But I don't dismiss the quartz and the functionality of it as well. So take that for what it is. If you love automatics, hey, go for it. Love your automatics. If you love quartz, go for it. I like both, so I went with the quartz. Save a little money, get the color I want, and have a banging piece. Man, this thing is awesome. Anyway, can't wait to get some wrist time on it. So the MSRP of this guy is $695. Oh, that is painful. That hurts a little bit. I was able to find it for in the 500 range, low 500s. So that's what I picked this guy up for. It is not a cheap piece, but you are getting an absolute quality piece that you can hand down for generations. I am certain, as long as you can find batteries for that quartz. Man, look at that bracelet. Is that thing not stellar? Look at this thing. This little dab of millwork right here on the end and polishing it up, man, that makes just all the difference in the world, making this thing just look stellar. Oh, I am so happy with this purchase. We'll see if I am at the time of the full review, once I get some wrist time and I'm out there in the real world with it. Sometimes that changes your perspective, right? That's why I never review a watch until I've been able to wear it for some time. I'll never, I've seen some review channels that will get a watch in, pop it on their wrist, and they'll do an unboxing / review. And I'm just like, how can you review a watch you've not worn? You haven't learned its personality. You haven't learned to live with it. I'm by no means trying to knock them. I'm sure they have better content than I do, but it doesn't suit me. It feels disgenuine. I really want to see someone who's put some time in wearing it to really know what it feels like. What does it feel like to have this chunk of steel on your wrist, for 8, 9, 10, 12, 24 hours a day? What did the loom really work for in the real world when you were out, getting out of the car in the dark, in a dark parking lot, and you just need to see, is the store about to close, and you look down at your wrist to see the time. Could you tell the time or not? It makes all the difference in the world if it works in the real world or not. So I'll definitely be getting some wrist time on this, and we will come back with a full review. Boy, I like that. These indexes kind of right up on that chapter ring, right around the edge there. That is so cool looking. I'm enamored with this piece right now. The applied indices, the circles, with the bars at the 3, 6, 9, and 12. Well, the Victorinox logo at the 12. That's a great way to incorporate their logo. We saw that with the I.N.O.X as well. Just super well done. Really loving this guy. Anyway, I've yammered on enough. Alright guys, that's going to do it. I sure do appreciate you guys coming to hang out with me, as always, as we take a quick first look at the Victorinox I.N.O.X diver. And until next time, guys, you guys get out there and make some noise. See ya.